Hello friends, this is Haradhan here. Welcome to Framework Session 1. Today in this session I will discuss what does it mean by automation framework, why we need to create the automation framework, what are the important things we need to consider while creating the automation framework, what are the top 10 automation framework available in the market, what is the importance of Java Ops concept in the automation framework. Thank you all for watching my videos. In case you are enjoying my videos and learning automation testing, please like and share my videos. Do not forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you will get notification as and when I will upload any new videos. Do not forget to provide your valuable comment for any input or suggestion. Stay tuned for my next videos. A framework defines a set of rules or best practice which user can follow in a systematic way to achieve the desired result. There are different types of test automation framework, but these are the three different framework which are most commonly used. One is data driven testing framework, keyword driven testing framework, and hybrid testing framework. Apart from three different frameworks, there are a lot of framework is there, just like the BDD, behavior driven, TDD, test data driven, are already available. But these are the main things. Three important automation framework which are widely used. In a test automation project, user do perform different tasks by using different type of files. To organize and manage all the files and to finish all the tasks in a systematic approach, user use a framework. So why we are using or we are creating the framework? What are the advantage of using any test automation framework? It saves times and maintains schedule. Automation testing is faster in execution than the manual testing. That is the reason it definitely helps to maintain overall project timeline. Suppose in case your project timeline is shorter, right? Suppose in case the manual test execution, it might take 6 months, but whenever we are using the automation testing and we are implementing any framework, it might take 2 to 3 months. So that is the reason times you can save some time, right? Your schedule can be reduced. Overall project timeline can be reduced. Reusability of code. In case we are creating the code one time and that code can be executed multiple times with less or no maintenance. Definitely in case some of your properties, right, your object or your pages is getting changed, you have to do some maintenance. But in case nothing is getting changed, without zero maintenance, with zero maintenance support or without any maintenance support, you can run your code multiple times. It's easy reporting. It generates automatic report after test execution, right? And in case if you want to send it the report, you can also configure the mail, right? So that after the end of the execution, it will also generate the report and it will send the different stakeholder. It's easy for compatible testings. It enables parallel execution in combination of different OS and browser environment. Suppose same set of test cases need to be executed in different OS or multiple browser. So that can be easily done with the help of automation framework. Low cost maintenance. It is cheaper compared to manual testing for a long run project, right? It will cost less to maintain your framework. Reliability. Automation testing is more reliable as less manual intervention is required, right? Obviously during the automation testing, manual intervention is really less. Sometimes even it is not required, just to run. Sometimes even automatic run is also possible. So less manual intervention required. So obviously it will be more reliable than the manual testing. Repetitive multiple execution for same set of test case. It is mostly used for regression testing, support execution of repeated test case, right? Suppose in in the last phase of the testing, right, in the stabilization, right, in case every day some build is coming and every day you need to run some regression test case, right? So same set of test case can be run multiple times with the help of automated framework. Minimal manual intervention to test script can be run sometime unattended, right? Even no manual intervention will be required. Maximum coverage. It helps to increase overall test coverage. Below are some of the key parameters that a software tester need to keep in mind while developing any test automation framework. So whenever we will be thinking for developing an automation framework, so these are the key importance parameter you need to think, and after that you need to select the different kind of automation framework. First, handle script and data separately, right? Automated test scripts should be clearly separated from the input data store, right? It can be Excel, MS Excel file, FAT file, or database, so that no modification will be required to the test script whenever data has to be changed for multiple input value. Suppose today you run your test case with this combination of username 1, username 2. Tomorrow that is not a valid username, right? You need to update it. So there is no need to update your test script, only your input data file will need to get updated, right? From where you are keying the test data. So that is the one important, right, parameters software tester need to keep in mind. Then library. A library should contain all reusable component and external connection such as database, generic function, application function, etc. Software testers should be exposed only to the implemented libraries, and tests should be performed by invoking this library. So this is the one of the most important parameters. Then coding standard, right? Whenever we are doing any kind of activity, it can be manual testing, it can be development, it can be automated testing, right? So we need to follow some protocols or terminology. So coding standard is an important aspects there. Scripting standard should always be maintained across the test automation framework, which will discourage individual coding practice and help in maintaining code uniformity, which makes it easier for software tester and developer to interpret. Suppose in case 10 tester is creating an automation framework, right? In case everyone, right, uses their own standard, right, at the end of the day, or at the end of the whenever everybody used to marching their code, it will be very difficult, right? So that is the reason coding standard need to be maintained, so that whenever merging or like a modification or maintenance, it will be easier for the other tester as well to read the code, go through, right, or to go through the code and to do the modification. Extensibility and maintenance. An ideal test automation framework should steadily support all the new enhancement to the software application and allow modification of existing features. Example, a reusable library can be created which would help in enhancing application feature with a minimal effort, right? So maintenance will be a crucial part for any kind of automation framework, right? Because suppose today you created your code based on some version, and maybe after down the line 6 months your version got changed, and your based on the application version is got changed, some of the field, some of the pages got changed, right? So you have to again update your script so that to accommodate those changes, otherwise your script will be invalid. Okay. Then script or framework versioning. Versioning of framework or script should be maintained either in local repository or versioning tool, right, which would help in easy monitoring of changes to the software code, right? Suppose unless you are maintaining the versioning, right, it will be very tough, right, on which day what of the version has been, right, implemented, and sometime your code is not working, right? So you need to discard the latest version change, so you can easily do it. So version, script or framework version is an important parameters that software testers should think, right, before developing any automation framework. What type of automation testing is possible through any kind of automation framework? It's smoke testing is possible, unit testing is possible, integrated testing, functional testing, keyword testing, regression testing, data-driven testing, and black box testing. So mainly, apart from that, there is a testing called build validation testing, right? So these are the important automated testings possible with the help of automation framework, but primarily smoke, build validation testing, and regression testing are mainly used. What type of test case do user need to pick up to automate? Users should focus on test case which should be executed in repeated manner, such as regression test case, mock test case, or sanity test case, right? Whatever test case will be executed multiple times, right? So those test cases we need to pick up first to automate. What type of test case user won't pick up to automate? Before picking up the test case to automate, user should check whether the application is stable enough or not. So based on they don't pick up the test case when the application under test or AUT changes frequently, and the test case which they run rarely and run only one time. So in case your application is not stable, so those functionality you should not pick up for the automate right? Once it is stable, you can then pick it up. And few of the test cases, just like which will be rarely used from the business, functionality wise, as well as that can be run in 1 or 2 times in the lifetime cycle, right? So those kind of test cases is or scenario should not be picked up to automate. Okay, automated testing process. Following common steps are followed in most of the automated testing process. The first, we need to identify the test tools, then we need to define the scope of automation, then we need to do the planning, design and development, then we need to execute the script, and then definitely we need to maintain the script. What does it mean by tool selection? Test tool selection largely depend on the technology the application under test or AUT is built on. For examples, QTP does not support Informatica, so QTP cannot be best used for testing Informatica application. It's good idea to conduct a proof of concept of tools of on AUT, or you can do some POC, right? Okay. So before selecting any tools, because once the tool selection is done and your scripting is done, after at that time it will be, it is not possible to change the tool, right? So before starting any framework, right, or automation, so your tool selection is the first thing user need to perform, and for that some POC need to be done or some sample validation need to be done. Then define the scope of automation. The scope of automation is the area where user application under test will be automated. So following points need to remember while defining the scope of automation, right? The features that are important for the business, scenario which have a large amount of data, common functionality across application, technical feasibility, the extent to which business components are reused, the complexity of the test cases, ability to use the same test cases for cross browser testing. So these are the important points we need to remember for defining the scope, because some of the complex test cases cannot be automated easily. There are a lot of different, right, integrated system, integrated applications required, and maybe so when for which client you are working, right, they do not have this kind of integration, so it may be difficult. So that is the reason the complexity of the test case need to be analyzed, whether it is possible, or feasibility studies also need to be possible. We need to validate, right, feasibility also need to perform, right, and the area where it will be mostly used and it will be critical to the business, those are the areas we need to automate first. Planning, design and development. During this phase, user can create an automated strategy and plan which will contain the following details. What are the automated tools selected, the framework design and its features, in scope and out of scope item for automation, automated test bed preparation, schedule and timeline of scripting and execution, right? We need to create the schedule and timeline for each and every different phase, like scripting is possible. Scripting is one of the important right, task or life cycle, right? Then we need to compile each and every scripting, then so once it is done, we need to dry run it, and in case of any problem we need to fix it, and after that we need to do the formal execution, right? Deliverables of automated testing, right? As part of automated testing there will be several deliverables, right? We need to publish several metrics, right? So those are the important aspect we need to think, or we need to plan it during the planning, design and development phase. The next phase is test execution, right? Once the automation script are ready, right, we need to execute during this phase. Okay, the script need input test data before they are set to run. Once executed, they provide detailed test report. Execution can be performed using the automation tool directly or through the test management tool, which will invoke the automation tool. And in case like test cases getting failed, right, maybe we need to rerun the test cases, because sometimes there can be synchronization issue, there can be suppose object identification issue, and in case it is failed because of the valid error or like fallacy of the application, then you need to publish the test case as a failed test case, and in case we are publishing the test case as failed, then definitely we need to attach some screenshots, right, so that defect can be logged with the relevant screenshot, right? So suppose quality center is a test management tool, which in turns it will invoke the QTP for execution of the automation script, right? Script can be executed in a single machine or a group of machines. The automation can be done during the night to save the time, right? Suppose in case you have 500 test case, and 500 test case maybe can take suppose say 50 hours, right? So you can distribute 100 test case in different 5 machines, and it can be runs like once the user is away from the work, right? It can, suppose user is working till 9 p.m. right time, so it can be run from after the 9 p.m. so that in the morning 9 p.m. it will be over, and in the morning you can get all the reports, right? So it can be distributed among the different system based on the total time, and in the morning you can do the analysis, how many disks fail, how many disks pass, like that. So it will definitely save your time, and it can be executed in the night time. The last testing process is test automation maintenance approach. Test automation maintenance approach is an automation testing phase carried out to test whether the new functionality added to the software are working fine or not, right? Maintenance in automation testing is expected when new automation scripts are added and need to be reviewed and maintained in order to improve the effectiveness of automation script with each successive release cycles, right? Suppose a particular software may be gone through 5 different release cycles, right? So you already developed, right, release for, your 10, suppose 100 script for release 1, and whenever release 2 is coming, you find that maybe 5 script is not valid anymore because of some changes in the application, and maybe some of the important key functionalities missed which is came as part of release 2. So you need to design some test cases, and maybe you have to enhance some existing test script, and you need to discard some existing test script based on the thing, right? So that will come as part of the automation, maintenance approach, right? So maintenance is the crucial part for any automation. So each and every releases, your test script, all the test script need to be updated accordingly, otherwise there is no point of executing the test case, right? Then Java Ops concept, how the Java Ops concept are interlinked to the any automation framework. So in Java, you know, right, there are important 4 Java Ops concept, right? Object oriented programmings, right? Ops concept, and the way how it is used in Selenium automation framework, right? First one is the data abstraction, right? So how all the 4 Java concept is interlinked with the Selenium automation framework. So what does it mean by Java abstraction? Data abstraction, the first Ops concept. Data abstraction is the property by virtue of which only the essential details will be displayed to the user. The trivial or the non-essential units are not displayed to the user, right? In Java, abstraction is achieved by the interfaces and the abstract class, right? So whenever we are defining some interfaces, right, interfaces will have different kind of method, but it will not have any, right, any body within the method, right? Similarly, abstract classes, right? User can achieve 100% abstraction using interfaces. In Selenium WebDriver, itself acts as an interface. Okay, suppose consider the below statement, right? Whenever we will want to launch any driver, we have to use the WebDriver, and we need to create an object or instance driver equal to new Chrome driver or new Firefox driver or new iDriver, like that, right? Whereas Chrome driver is the class and WebDriver is the interface, right? So user initialize the Chrome browser using Selenium WebDriver. It means they are creating a reference variable which is driver of the interface WebDriver and creating an object, right? Hence WebDriver is the interface and Chrome driver is a class, and the driver is an instance of the WebDriver interface. Okay. User can apply data abstraction in Selenium framework by using the page object model design pattern or POM design pattern. Okay. They can define all locators and their methods in the page class. User can use this locator in their test, but they cannot see the implementation of their underlying method, right? So user only show the locator in the test but hide the implementation. This is a simple example of how user can use data abstraction in automation framework. The next one is encapsulation, right? This is the another Java Ops concept. The encapsulation is defined as the wrapping up data under a single unit. It is the mechanism that binds together code and the data it manipulates. Encapsulation can be achieved by declaring all the variable in the class as private and writing public method in the class to set and get the values of the variable, right? So you need to declare all the classes private and all the methods whatever will be defining, right, as public. Okay. Okay. So all the classes in the automation framework are an example of encapsulation. In page object model class, user declare the data members using @findBy, right? And initialization of data members will be done using constructor to utilize those in the methods. Then the third Ops concept is the inheritance. Inheritance is the mechanism in Java by which one class can be a child class or subclass, is allowed to inherit the new features of another class, right? So from the another class or parent or base class, right, some of the important fields or method can be inherited to the child class or subclass. Okay, that is called inheritance, right? So what is the implementation of the inheritance automation framework? User can apply inheritance in automation framework by creating a base class to initialize the WebDriver interface, browsers, wait times, reports, logging, etc. And then, right, user can extend this base class and its all associated method in other classes like test or utilities. This is a simple example of how user can apply inheritance in their framework. The last OPS concept is the polymorphism. The word polymorphism means, right, having many forms, or poly means many and morphism means form, so that is many forms. So polymorphism allows user to perform a single action in different way. In Java, polymorphism can be achieved by two ways, right? One is the method overloading or static binding, and one is the method overriding or dynamic binding. So during method overloading, when there are multiple methods with the same name but different parameters, then these methods are said to be overloaded. Methods can be overloaded by varying or changing the number of arguments and the number of type of argument, right? So whenever we are saying the number of argument means, suppose how many different data combination you are passing and what are the different data type we are passing, right? In Selenium automation, implicit wait is an example of method overloading. In implicit wait, users use different timestamp such as second, millisecond or hours like that. Sometimes we can use implicit wait like we can wait for 10 seconds. Sometimes we can wait for 5 seconds. Sometimes we can wait until the page is getting displayed, or sometimes we can wait until the page object is getting identifiable like that. Then the another form of polymorphism is the method overriding or dynamic binding. It occurs when a derived class has a definition for one of the member function of the base class. The base function is said to be overridden, right? So whenever base class or parent class and the child class, right, or your inherited class, right, or your child class have the same functions, right, then one function will be overridden, right? Okay. So in Selenium WebDriver, method overriding can be achieved by overriding any WebDriver methods, right? In case already WebDriver method is there, but we can change it as per our requirement. So the top 10 test automation framework I will discuss, right? There are different framework, but these are the I have listed down the important top 10 framework which are commonly used for automation testing. The first one is robot framework. Robot framework is the best choice in case user want to use a Python test automation framework for their test automation effort, right? The robot framework is Python based, but user can also use Jython, Java or Iron Python, or which is .NET. The robot framework uses a keyword driven approach to make test easy to create. Robot framework can also test MongoDB, FTP, Android, APM and many more. It has many test library including the Selenium WebDriver library and other useful tool. It has a lot of API to help make it extensible and as possible. The keyword approach used by robot framework is great for testers who are already familiar with other vendor based keyword driven test tool, making the transition to open source much easier for them. Okay. Then our next automation framework is WebDriver IO. WebDriver IO is an automation test framework based on Node.js. It has an integrated test runner and user can run automation test for web application as well as native mobile apps. Also, it can run both on the WebDriver protocol and Chrome DevTools protocol, making it efficient for both Selenium WebDriver based COS browser testing or Chromium based automation. As WebDriver IO is open source, user can get a bunch of plugins for their automation need, right? Suppose Video Setup Wizard makes the setup simple and easy for WebDriver IO. Then the next is Citrus. Citrus is an open source framework with which user can automate integration tests for any messaging protocol or data format, right? For any kind of messaging transport such as REST, HTTP, SOAP or JMS, Citrus framework will be suited for test messaging integration. So in case suppose user need to interact with the user interface and then then verify a backend process, right? So user can integrate Citrus with Selenium. Suppose user need to click on a send mail button, and after that they need to verify on the in the backend that whether the mail has been received or not. So Citrus can receive this mail or the JMS communication triggered by the UI and can verify backend result all in single test case. Then the next tool is Cypress. Then the next framework or tool, right? Cypress is a developer centric test automation framework that makes test data driven development or TDD a reality for developers. Its design principle was to be able to package and bundle everything together to make the entire end-to-end testing experience pleasant and simple. Cypress has different architecture than Selenium. While Selenium WebDriver runs remotely outside the browsers, right? Cypress run inside of it. This approach helps in understanding everything that happens inside and outside the browsers to deliver more consistent result. It does not require user to deal with object serializations or over-the-wire protocols while giving user native access for every project. Cypress can synchronously notify user of every single thing that happens inside the browsers, as user can pull their application info, right, application into it, so that they have native access to every DOM element. It also makes it easy to simply drop a debugger into user application, which in turn make it easier to use the developers tools. Then the next automation framework is Selenium. One of the most popular open source test automation framework for web based Selenium, right? Selenium also serves as a base for a lot of other testing tools, as it has cross platform and cross browser functionality, right? Selenium support a wide range of programming language, suppose Java, C#, PHP, Python, Ruby, right, etc. can be used for Selenium project. It is easy to maintain as it has one of the largest online support network. Selenium is highly extendable through a wide range of libraries and APIs to meet everyone's needs and requirements. Selenium is preferred by testers as it is possible to write more advanced test scripts to meet various levels of complexity. It provides a playback tool for test authoring without the need to learn a specific scripting language, right? And Selenium can be integrated with different other tools. That is the reasons, and also it's a free tool, right? So that is the reason it is very high demand in the market. The next one framework is the Cucumber. It is a cross-platform behavior-driven development or BDD tool that is used to write acceptance tests for web application. Cucumber is quick and easy to set up execution and allows reusing code in test. It supports language like Python, PHP, Perl, .NET, Scala, Groovy, etc. Automation of functional validation in an easily readable and understandable format. One good feature is that both specification and test documentation are uploaded in a single up-to-date document. Cucumber makes it easy for the business stakeholder who are not familiar with testing, as they can easily read the code as test report are written in a business readable English. The code can be used together with other frameworks like Selenium, Oetid, Capybara, etc. Right? So the importance of the Cucumber framework is that you don't need to learn much about the programming language. So without much programming language, still you can develop the framework with the with the help of Cucumber. Then the Gauge. It is an open source tool, right? Agnostic test automation framework for Mac, Linux, and Windows. These are the different operating systems. People who work on TDD and BDD, right, test data driven or behavioral data driven, will appreciate Gauge's focus on creating living or executable documentation. Specs. The Gauge automation tests are written using a markdown language with C#, Java, and Ruby within their existing IDEs like Visual Studio or Eclipse. Gauge functionality can also be extended with its supports or plugin. It's also developed as a BYT, Bring Your Tool framework. So user can use Selenium or they can use anything else for driving their test, UI or API test. In case user want a readable non-BDD approach for automation, still they can use or try with Gauge. Then the Serenity. In case user is looking for a Java based framework that integrates with BDD or behavior driven development tools such as Cucumber and JBehav, Serenity might be the tools user can use. It's designed to make writing automated, acceptance and regression test easier. It also lets user keeps their test scenario at high levels while accommodating low levels implementation detail in their reports. Serenity acts as a wrapper on top of Selenium WebDriver and BDD tools. It abstracts away much of the boilerplate code, right? Users sometimes need to write to get started, which makes writing BDD and Selenium tests easier. Serenity also offers plenty of built-in functionality such as handling running tests in parallel, WebDriver management and taking screenshot, managing state between steps, facilitating Jira integration, all without having to write a single line of code. So they have some inbuilt features, and with the help of this you can implement all the important functionality built in, important which are already built in the Serenity. Then the next one is Karina. Karina is built using popular open source solution like Appium, TestNG and Selenium, which reduces dependency on a specific technology stack. User can test mobile application, native, web and hybrid, web application, REST services and database. Karina framework support different type of database like MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle, PostgreSQL, providing the amazing experience of DAO layer implementation using MyBetis ORM framework. It supports all popular browsers and mobile devices, and it reduces test automation code between iOS, Android up to 80%. API testing is based on the FreeMaker template engine, and it provides great flexibility in generating REST requests. Karina is cross-platform and tests may be easily executed both on Linux and Windows operating system. The last one is the last or test automation framework which widely used in the market is Earl Grey, right? So developer often face difficulty with some of the existing test automation framework in synchronization of the app and the instrumentation. Also, executing tests on apps as synchronized and advanced only when UI elements are visible on the screen has caused issues for many developers. So Google Earl Grey has built-in synchronization that makes test script wait for UI event to occur before the script tries to interact with the UI on the app, right? This type of implementation makes the test script conscious as well as steps of the test script show how the test will proceed and UI gets synchronized with it. One more key aspect of Earl Grey is that all actions on UI element happen only on visible element. This provides a fast and robust approach to ensure UI testing goes through as clicks, gestures and other interaction do not get done if UI element is not fully shown. Okay, so that's all about the basic introduction of test automation framework. So from the next session onward, I will try to create the real-time framework for the different test data driven or keyword driven or the hybrid driven, and also the from framework. Okay, so that's all for today's session. Thank you.